light. Whiskey round table. Oh, Greg, Karen, and the whiskey wizard talking facts and tastings. They've got you covered. Whiskey round table. Oh.
Welcome to the Whiskey Roundtable. We are your hosts,
Big G.
Karen Allen Keller.
Doug Dunbar.
Welcome back, everybody.
Amen, huh?
Just a couple of weeks off, but it felt like a month.
That's what you said, man.
I wish it was 2
2 what, months? Oh.
No, just kidding. Oh my goodness.
So what'd you guys do in the time off? I guess there was a wedding. It was
A wedding.
holiday weekend.
Holiday weekend, family in town. My brother Stephen and John Donnelly came to visit. They were here for a week. We did a cook for a grad party. Then we had the next day. Then from there we went to Parma to the Schnitzel Cafe. Am I saying it right?
Schnitzel House
Bistro, the new restaurant.
Is that Broadview Heights?
Broadview and Wallings Road, I think, is
Yeah.
that plaza. We were there, and then the next day we had a big for my cousins. We're at their house for the whole day, and me and their neighbor Rich, we built them a bar. Absolutely beautiful. Rich did all of the top. That was all him for sure. Actually, he did a lot of the work. I shouldn't, but
Yeah, I wish you
came out beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I wish we had the picture to show. But
Yeah.
it's quite.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Yep. But
Beautiful.
so it was nonstop, and then Donnelly had to be taken to the hospital. He had appendix taken out.
Appendicitis.
Appendicitis unexpectedly. Oh yeah, it was fun.
Wow. Gosh.
I'm like, when y'all leaving? When y'all leaving? Great timing. Oh Jesus! I know you've been here an hour. It's time to go.
Would you look at the time?
I sure am tired.
So then Memorial Day weekend, you did.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you did the kind of.
Yeah, and the week before we were in Oxford, down at Miami University for a wedding.
Beautiful campus.
Beautiful.
There.
So we were busy for 2 weeks straight. No ifs, ands, or buts.
And you did some cooking with Roland Smoke
Did some
Barbecue,
cooking
one of
with
our
Rome,
sponsors.
right? One of our sponsors. We did a grad party, and that was fun. It was a good time, man.
Beautiful.
It was a lot of fun. Very, very. I think I averaged 3 hours of sleep a night. That's all I averaged.
Wow.
It was a long 2 weeks. I couldn't lie to you. We kind of took over the hotel too while we were at the wedding. They told us you can't drink, you can't smoke, you can't do this, you can't do that. So I fixed all that up. So we had that by ourselves privately for 2 days. So we had a party out there. First night it was like 30 people. Second night it was like 50. And they left the pool was supposed to close at 10, but they let us stay open till 2. The last person went back to the room, which happened to be me, and that was about 3:45 in the morning. But we had a blast, man. The wedding was a friggin' blast.
Yeah, it was a good
It
time.
really was. We loved it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun.
What about you, Wizard? What'd you
Yeah.
do?
We had.
Stay home, make s'mores. What'd you do?
I just kind of stayed at home, read the thesaurus.
Yeah. You're stupid.
Well, mine's a terrible thing.
Right.
Garbage.
Right.
But
Oh my.
we had a good weekend. Just enjoying being around the house, taking care of some yard work and stuff like that. Nothing exciting on our end, but the yard's all in pretty good shape. Still got a little bit of work to do. But anyway, it's our 14th show of the year.
Wow.
Number 14.
Number 14, and what we're doing today is kicking off cigar and whiskey month
Pairing,
here on
yeah.
the Whiskey Roundtable.
Awesome. That's a great segment. I mean, it's about 15, 18 minutes long.
About 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great information.
So today's Wizard will kind of kick that off and just kind of talk in general about some interesting stuff about cigars and how they're made and the different types of tobacco and stuff that was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very knowledgeable information.
and then we over the next the rest of the month, every show will be featuring some type of cigar and whiskey pairing
Right.
episode, which we won't give too much away, but Big G and some of our friends of the show participated in some whiskey pairing and whiskey and cigar pairing events that we did with the help of our sponsor at Royal Havana Cigars, and so that'll be coming up throughout the rest of the month, and then concluding on the last Friday in June, we'll kind of wrap that all up. So all kinds of exciting things going on.
Plus, it's our birthday month.
And in June, like, of course, the third Friday is our kind of birthday show, if you will, because I'm the 19th, Karen's the 20th, and our show is the 18th. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Non-stop fun.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
So, since we've been away a while, I'll do a quick read of our sponsors.
Absolutely.
The Cleveland Bourbon Co-op, of course, Royal Havana Cigars, Village Martini, Simply Greek, Low Imports, Roll and Smoke, Barbecue, Chagrin Valley Beverage, 21 Staves, North Coast Jazz Ensemble, and Rawhide Firearms.
Awesome.
And speaking of 21 Staves, I haven't used. One of the things I'm doing tomorrow is going to get out the smoker. I'm going to take the tarp off it, get it all going. But I did use some of those stave chips.
Oh,
and kind of made a foil bowl and used it with my grill. Tried to slow cook some barbecue chicken. Man, it worked really well.
Good.
Nice.
That smoke was
I ordered I think 20 more pounds of staves for cooking. Plus, I know that I just gave 2 boxes of applewood, one for Steve and one for Donnelly to take home, and I mean big boxes, and cut up ready for them to use. And then I have a whole bunch more that I have to grab over at the neighbor's house that he cut up for me to bring back. So I'll give you some of those as well.
nice. And so I've been kind of pre-taste drinking some Colila 12. This is a little bottle that Jimmy got me, so thanks, Jimmy.
Jimmy
And that's
Chips.
a
Fabio.
perfect prelude to tonight's featured whiskey, Machir Bay, Kilchoman's Machir Bay. So that I'm very excited to try, and very excited to see what Karen thinks of this.
I'm excited to try this,
Yeah.
especially while I was doing all of the research for some of the history on it. It just sounds really interesting what they got going over there. And since you mentioned, should we do a bottle cam?
Since we mentioned it, why don't we start with a bottle can?
Well, we just check this out right now.
We have a bottle can?
We have a bottle cam.
Good.
Hey everyone,
Okay, here it
it's time
comes.
for the bottle cam. The bottle cam.
There it went. Oh.
Here it goes.
There's a good-looking gold bottle.
That would
I
be
think that's-
Terry Bradshaw.
Oh, is that
over
Terry?
there. Yeah.
God, I thought it was me for a second.
So you were talking about Steve, and he's mentioning here on the scroll about all the whiskeys he brought you. You
Yes.
failed to mention.
I did fail to mention that.
quite
I actually
interested.
did fail to mention that on
Hall
purpose.
that I saw
But
upstairs, yes.
so my brother and Donnelly both brought up a bunch of different offerings, and we killed a few bottles the first night they were here. But believe it or not, we were so busy running and traveling that we never really got into the other bottles. And but yes, what a great selection. But I'll leave it at that. So
Yeah,
But
quite a mix.
Not
it
to
really
change the
was
subject.
fantastic stuff.
Not to change the subject, but I am going to change the subject. Jennifer Boggs says that you sound really far away.
I don't know. Check 1, 2.
Checkity check check.
Okay.
Checkity check. Check.
I don't know if that's any better. It shouldn't.
Whoa, that cough just went off the charts.
Check. Hello.
All right, let us know if
All right. Well,
that sounds any better.
last week or last show, we were kind of blowing up the needle a little bit, so we're trying to get the audio right. But yeah, well, thanks for letting us know. So appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, I think I have a bottle of I don't know if she has it or not, but I actually called her when Steve was in town. Kurt was shopping for me, and there was a Booker's. We weren't sure because Kurt doesn't know a lot about Booker's, so I just told him to bring the bottle back, and I would let Jen figure it out whether she wanted it or not. But I just grabbed it just in case it's something she didn't have, or maybe she has had it or whatever. But anyway, yeah, Steve, if you remember, only because I didn't. If you want to maybe throw a quick list at Karen of the of some of the whiskeys that you brought up here. That one Texas whiskey, that straight rye, I'll take 2 bottles of that. That stuff is fantastic. And the cigars. Thanks for leaving me one of them cigars, Steve. Appreciate it.
Speaking of cigars, it is cigar and whiskey month. So what are you smoking there, G?
I am smoking a 660 Royal Havana cigar, Ecuadorian Habano.
One of
Maduro.
the store brand?
Yeah, one of the store brand.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm smoking.
Very nice.
Oh.
RJ's in the house. RJ,
RJ, that's
you
right.
smoking
RJ.
a stogie tonight too?
RJ, I forgot. I tell you what, I'm so all over the board. I forgot I should have asked you to come sit in on the show today, or at least sit in the audience. I apologize about that. We were, but I know we're going to do something at his house next week. So that's it. That's all I got, kids. I ain't got much.
So, Kilchoman Machir Bay.
Machir Bay.
That's what we're talking about. So
All right, you want me to go into some
let's do it. Let's
some knowledge
talk
about
about
this?
what we're going to be tasting here.
Let's get into this.
So Kilchoman Machir Bay, it's a first distillery to be built on Isla in over 124 years. Anthony Willis and his wife Kathy created Kilchoman from a collection of rundown farms back in 2005. And it is Isla's only farm distillery producing Scotland's only single malt, which is really cool. Right there on the farm, they grow 200 tons of barley each year, and they take it from barley to bottle. And it was really cool. The website talked about the 8 different stages. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to tread in on normal Whiskey Wizard territory.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I know. I'm very nervous. He's going to judge me. I know it.
Don't prejudge. Go ahead.
So anyway, the first stage is harvesting. So it's the start of their whiskey making process. Like I said, they do grow their own barley there on the farms on their distillery lands. So take this whole process takes 1,130 days. So once they harvest, they actually plant in the spring, harvest around September time frame, and then that's when all the fun begins. From harvesting, they go into the second stage, which is malting. And Kilchoman is only one of 7 distilleries that still do the practice of that traditional floor malting.
More maltings, yeah.
So that's where they soak the barley in the water. They lay it on the concrete floor and they turn it by hand, usually with a rake of some sort. Yeah. This process, it triggers the barley to germinate, and it allows for the conversion of starch and conversion of starch to fermentable sugars and alcohol.
Yeah.
So from the malting stage, it goes into the peating stage. They cut from Isla's many ocean-soaked peat bogs.
Isla has some of the best peat reserves anywhere in Scotland. So.
And then they smoke the barley in there, which adds the layers of complexity to the whiskey once it gets distilled. From the peating process, it goes to the mashing process. So after peating, the barley is rested before it makes its journey into the still house. They have 2 custom-built, hand-operated 1.2 ton mash tuns, which extract the sugars, the fermentable sugars, from the crushed barley grains. And that liquid, which is called wort,
Same as beer, yeah.
is drained off, and this forms the base of their Kilchoman whiskey. Any leftover grain doesn't go to waste. They feed it to the cows that are right there on the farm. So once that process is done, they move into fermenting. They add distiller's yeast, and that begins the fermentation process and the creation of alcohol. They ferment for 90 hours, which is almost double the industry standard. They say that this allows for the complex esters and buildup of the lactic acid, which produces the creamy and buttery fruity notes that
We talked about in kind of past wizards, right? The importance of that whole mashing and flavor development. So, yeah, a lot of the good flavor compounds come out of that step. If you don't do that right, it's hard to make a good whiskey. So that's cool.
That's cool. Almost done. From the fermenting, it goes into the. I did just do fermenting. From there, it goes to distilling. The stills, which are the smallest on Islay and some of the smallest in Scotland, they have a distinct size and shape, which allows the mixing of the peat smoke and the light, clean, floral, citrusy notes of the whiskey to come together. After it's distilled, they mature it, which I found interesting. You'll find interesting too, Big G. They mature in a combination of casks sourced from producers all around the world. Their two main types of casks are bourbon barrels and sherry butts. And they get their bourbon barrels from Buffalo Trace here in the U.S. And they get their sherry butts from Bodega Miguel Martin in Spain.
Yeah, famous sherry makers, so very high end. So does it say? Do we know if that's the standard? Is aging in both for this product?
Let's see.
Or is that just some of the offerings they have?
The Machir Bay is matured in both bourbon and sherry
Okay,
casks.
because I know they just came out when we were doing the news.
Right.
The other week, they just came out with I think an all sherry aged or something. So
That's
which is different. That's pretty.
that is the lightest Scotch I've ever seen.
Yeah, when you were pouring it, you said it
if
looked
you
I
like
almost looked like
remember
water
the
at first.
green
This
tea.
is the Colila 12, and
right.
similar color. Remember when
This is a little lighter than that. I think.
remember when we did another?
sure.
We did the. I can't remember if it was the Ardbeg that we did. Or Lefroy, but remember it was also
Right.
very, very light. So that's one of the qualities of one of the things I like about these islands is they have that rope. Well, we'll see, but
Sure.
typically you get that oceanic character, you get the peat, but it's also got a very light, clean profile. So.
It looks very light and clean and crispy, like a nice little summer.
Yeah,
So fresh and so
Yeah.
clean.
Clean. Anyway, so once they do the maturing, then of course they bottle it, and it's all bottled. All of those 8 stages are all done right there on the distillery grounds. So pretty cool. The Machir Bay, this is their signature peated single malt. Like I said, it's matured in both bourbon and sherry casks. And it's named after Islay's most spectacular beach, which once I read that, I thought, well, what does that beach look like? So I went and I got a picture.
Nice.
So let me throw this out here.
Is that Doug Dunbar in there? Where's his girl? She
Just a little bit. But yeah, isn't that gorgeous?
It
Just
is.
absolutely gorgeous. And I was looking at the actual Kilchoman, that's a soy sauce.
Kilchoman.
Kilchoman
Kilchoman.
website, and you can actually do a tasting on that beach, a whiskey tasting on the beach. And I thought, oh, that would just be so cool to be sitting there like that.
Oh yeah.
I'd be like, bring me some grapes.
So I thought it would bring some grapes.
Bring me some grapes.
That
We're
is
on the
great.
beach and they got the fans. They bring you some grapes.
So I think it is the newest distillery on Islay. There's a bunch of them, and for its size, it's got an amazing amount of distilleries because of that great reserves of peat, being on the ocean, all those things, good land for farming. So it's a good place for whiskey. But I think there's another one, and the name escapes me, that is yet to open, but I think there will be a newer one at some point soon. So that's exciting.
It is.
There'll be another Isla whiskey in the future. So.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, so let's try it.
So no, I am done. I was just going to mention on the website, they do sell it on the website. I didn't see if they would ship to the U.S., but this in particular type of Kilchoman was retailing for about £37.50, which is about $50. So I don't know. Is this relatively available here?
You can find it on hit or miss. I did order that online. I think it was Wally's out of Los Angeles, I think. But so you pay a little shipping, but you can get this. You should be able to find it. It's not easy per se, but it's certainly obtainable if you make a little effort. So.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if I've seen it in our travels and looking at different shelves.
We did a short travel, but we didn't really buy anything. I think we bought like 6 or 8 bottles, but it was all just basically bourbons and ryes. But we never
Some
really
tequila.
hit some tequila. We never really hit the Scotch side, but
Just in general, though.
Something to do in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should do next travels. I should look for more Scotch stuff than not. But
Absolutely. Okay.
All right. So are we going to taste this now?
Let's do it.
Big G in a mankini is simply too much for any man to stomach. That's what RJ says.
thanks, RJ. What's Steve got? One of the Texas whiskeys is a
Millum and Green straight bourbon.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that.
Maker's
up there.
Mark,
Yeah, I've
right?
never seen
Private
that.
Selection, Specs Bourbon Day. That was good. Angel's Envy, which was the Specs pick. He brought me a Lefroy Cast Strength 10-year. All kinds of stuff. Well, we went through it. Plus the stuff that he's been keeping for me at his house in Texas. That's why he drove up, just to get rid of my inventory down there, so to say.
Well, Donnelly got you 4 roses.
John Donnelly got me 4 roses, yep, and a few other things as well. We had a great time. It was a lot of fun, man. It really
Okay.
was. Enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. I needed that. It was very nice. Thanks, brother. Thank you.
Where are you going?
Passing out here. Okay.
Thought you had enough of our
You say,
BS.
you passing out, or you
Passing
passing out, or you passing out?
No, that comes a little bit later.
Okay. All right, let's get into this.
Dear.
Okay.
Ooh. I like the nose.
All right.
It's definitely a Scotch.
Definitely smoky. Definitely wood
I don't
smoke
get
for sure.
I'm not getting. Well, of course I have been drinking some Coolila, but I'm not getting a lot of smoke on the nose.
I'm getting all
get-
smoke on the nose.
I'm getting like some typical vanilla.
Yeah.
And I'm getting the
It's fruity, that's for sure.
citrus is what I'm
Yeah.
getting. A nice citrus, maybe some pear.
Lemon curd? Are you getting lemon
Lemon
curd
curd?
this time?
Get nut skins or anything? Just checking.
Just citrus. Just I don't know.
I'm getting nuts.
Lemon,
I'm getting nut skins on the chin and the nose right now.
I'm getting the peat, the smoke,
Yeah, I'm
and
getting
a
the peat, the
citrus.
smoke, citrus. I don't know.
It's like with the
Light
like
fruit
a
of some
vanilla
sort.
and a dough flavor, kind of almost giving me like a biscuit.
Yeah.
I get it. I do get a hint of smoke now.
I get a lot of smoke. It's kind of overpowering.
You think?
I mean, for me, it's just everybody's different, but I'm getting a lot of peat, a lot of smoke. Yeah, the vanilla. I get a fruitiness. I don't know, lemon, lime, maybe. I don't know. But that's it. I can't pull anything else out of it. Sorry.
You want me to read what, or you want to take a few more
Yeah, go ahead.
stabs
No,
at it?
go ahead. I smelled it like 10 times. Go ahead.
So here it says citrus zest, crumbly vanilla biscuits, layers of elegant peat smoke. Another one says clean and fruity with wood smoke, barley, lemon oil, followed by
There you go, G. You're saying lemon.
vanilla and toffee.
Vanilla, yeah. Toffee, I didn't get.
I don't get the toffee.
I got the
either.
vanilla
What you got?
biscuit, kind of citrus. Yep.
I can
So
see
I'd say
the
we were
lemon.
pretty good.
I like the I like the smell. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not real big into the smoky. Well, I shouldn't say that because
been,
the Lefroy products are
yeah.
smoky, especially the 18, and I enjoyed that. So
Yeah, you did.
you know, so
Well, let's
All right, enough talking,
yeah.
kids.
all right, let's do it.
palate. Let's palate this.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
The nose and the palate are the same to me.
Yeah, I get more.
I get that peat. I get that smoke. I get honey on the finish.
Yeah, I was gonna say I get honey, like almost like instead of citrus now, it's like tropical.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
I
not quite as citrusy, as tart as I thought it would be. It's very more like tropical kinds of fruits, maybe some.
I would say it's a medium finish. I won't say it's a short finish, but it's not a real long finish. But in my opinion,
some maybe
yeah.
some like raisin or
yeah,
some kind of dried fruit. Yeah.
It's very crisp.
Ooh. That's a really nice balance with the peat is certainly not overpowering or the smoke to me.
the first
For an
time.
Isla, I think it's pretty well balanced. It's not too bold in that regard.
The first time I tasted it, I got the honey. Second time I tasted, I got the honey. But the first time I tasted it, I almost got a splash of mint.
Ooh.
But that's just my I mean, that was just what I tasted.
Now I know that my son Cameron and his girlfriend Lauren would really be. I think this is one they would really like. So
Very good.
I would say if you guys haven't tried it yet, that you should. This is one you should definitely pick up because I know Lauren's a big fan of Kilchoman.
Is that? I'm sorry, I missed that because I was doing other things. Is that available in the States?
Yes, I bought it online. So,
Okay, all right.
I mean, I don't remember the cost to be honest with you. I think delivered to me it was something like $90.
Okay. good.
I like it. It's
I do
it's
too.
very immediately. It's very fruity and
I think
citrusy.
you're just realizing that you do like Scotch.
I
don't-
do like Scotch.
I don't think I've really tasted anything like that, so to say. There's just
It's-
something different in it than I'm used to. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, to me it's very in the vein of Coolila, which you know I
Right.
like.
Sure.
Ard Bay. Some of the Lefroy's we've had. So to me, it's. But this is very well balanced. I really like it. It's kind of. I would say if I was going to introduce somebody to an Isla, somebody that kind of was getting a little into Scotch, maybe they had some Glenmorangie, and
Okay.
they were just kind of rolling into that, and maybe were ready to take on something peated, something in the smoky peat end of things. I think this would be a perfect starter, perfect one to get somebody
Yeah.
introduced to an Isla Scotch. So.
Very good.
So help me remember, because I have a hard time with that. Isla's in the range of peatiest to least peatiest.
It's
What-
probably the peatiest, smokiest
Really?
overall. Yes. So if you say I want a smoky peaty Scotch, most of those are going to come from Isla. Your Lefroy, those, and your Lagavulin, those are all Islas.
Shoot, I am a Scotch girl.
Oh.
Holy crap! Because when you were talking about Lefroy and Ardbeg, I was like, ugh. Those are like the mossy. You just got a thing of dirt in your mouth. Kind
A little
of
bit
remember.
of some Band-Aids.
Yeah, that's what I remember. And as I'm sitting here drinking this, I'm like,
Probably.
wow, this
There
is.
are some that are definitely more in that. There's more to that extreme that you can go from what we're having here. But that said, I think also your tastes are evolving. I think that your which is what that's what's great about
At least
doing
something
it.
on me is maturing. Because no,
It's
I
good to see. From when I first came on the show, I noticed that you have been enjoying these kinds of whiskeys a lot more. So.
yeah,
Right.
I really do enjoy it. So
What's our palate?
quickly on the palate, it has a burst of tropical fruit and dried raisin.
I think I said both of those.
You did.
Warming smoke continues.
Mm-hmm.
It's alive with a zesty citrus, aromatic peat,
Definitely.
vanilla fudge. Didn't get that at all.
Maybe and I didn't get so much citrus on the palate.
I
Oh,
didn't
I did
either.
at first. It
I
was
didn't. Yeah, I
right
didn't
in
get
my
a lot
face.
of the. I got fruit, but not. I didn't get what I say before, lemon or lime or whatever.
You did.
Yeah,
lemon.
zest.
It also says apple, pear, and black pepper.
I definitely
Black
had some
pepper.
pear. I think I said on the nose.
It's a little spicy, but
But
it's
I
good.
get the vanilla fudge a little bit. There's definitely an underlying vanilla-y sweetness to it.
Yep.
But it helps balance it with the smoke and the peat. So
It does have a sweetness to it for sure.
It
yeah,
does.
you
It
need
really does.
need
Agreed.
that. I think with these smokier.
So maybe that's.
peated whiskeys.
Where's your?
Palette right here.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay. I was just trying to figure out what gave it its sweetness. Maybe the.
Well,
vanilla
the
fudge?
bourbon,
Vanilla
certainly
fudge or the bourbon,
barrel
yeah.
aging and-
Right.
Yeah.
So. all right.
Raisins can maybe be a little
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
The finish, it says sherried fruits from the sherry cask.
Okay.
A sprinkle of cracked black pepper.
Okay.
Rich wood smoke balanced by clean citrus notes. So I
I get the black. I can see the black
Yeah,
pepper
I
on the
can see the
finish.
black
It's,
pepper.
Little
it's staying with me, and I can describe that as like a ground black pepper. Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah.
Very good.
I'm a big fan.
Very good.
I'm glad I have this. And I'll
I'm glad
get
you have
some
it
more
too.
of it.
I'm glad. I hope you have it on the 19th.
But yeah, I will. And then there's some other good Kilchomans out there to try that I've never tried. So we'll look forward to
We'll
that.
have to look for
Maybe
some.
on future shows as well.
All right.
Yeah,
Because we do have Scotch Whiskey Month that comes up in August.
August, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
really gonna look forward to that
So
now.
the
this
Scotch
year.
Whiskey Month, we're gonna sit down. We're gonna pull out. Some stuff.
I
so
have
we
some
to-
good stuff.
Yeah,
that
and
I've gotten.
I'll try to get some too, but
And we have some of those tastings I did with Cameron and Lauren, some
Right.
episodes that I've been saving for August. So yeah, well, we got that to look forward to.
so I
Staying in the present, it's Cigar and Whiskey Month.
right. So real quick, well, I said it was not a long finish or a short finish, but after drinking it several times, even now after I drank my soda water, it is kind of a long finish. It really is.
It did lengthen.
It's a full long finish. It really is, and it's
After a
pleasant.
few-
It's pleasant.
A few dives.
So we gonna rate this or what?
Well, before we do that, let's do. I think we should do a reprise on the bottle cans.
Oh shoot! Okay.
Oh yeah, let's take a look.
All right, Negro, let's
we'll
do this.
bottle cam number 2 coming up.
Here we go.
Hey everyone, it's time for the bottle cam. The
Hold on to
bottle
your
cam.
pants.
Look at you have it with the supply. There it is.
All right.
Beautiful.
Beauteous.
Bottle can.
Bottle can.
Bottle cam.
Awesome.
That was a long bottle cam. Very
To
cool.
mix it up.
I love how you had it with the cigar. That was cool.
Yeah, because
You're talking about me? Yep.
Oh, you? Yeah, always.
All right, so
Let's rate
shall
it.
you want to start with you, G?
Yeah, I'll rate it.
On our whiskey roundtable, score of 0 to 5, 5 being the utmost conceivable,
I'm gonna do a 3.95.
Ooh.
3.95.
3.95. Not quite a 4.
Not quite a 4.
Oh, okay, I can
That's
go with
just
that.
me. That's just me.
That's kind of what I was expecting from you, based on some of your comments and things. But
Doug, I'm going to let you go next.
okay, this is definitely, I'm kind of almost right exactly with G. I'm borderline because if it's a 4 for me, that means I should have this at all times in my bar. It's darn good, and I it's almost to that level for me. But I think honestly, I'm going to go 3.97.
Oh, jeez. This is the Price is Right.
Exact. Come on.
It's not like if you go 2 cents above.
Oh my goodness, God.
I think I like it. I think I like it better.
Hey, even at $3.95, I would still want it on
Yeah.
my bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's right there. It's like I kind of need to have this all the time now because it's that good. But,
It is. It
But
really
I
is.
just want to, once you get to 4, that's a statement. That for me, that's kind of like I really, if I don't have it on my bar, I'm trying to obtain it somehow. That's kind of the mode. So it's right on the cusp of that. So 3.97 for me. And now we're to Karen.
So the number that came into my head as soon as I had it set for a while was a 3.8. So I'm going to stick with the 3.8.
All right.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Very high Karen's.
We're all in the
And for
we're all at the
peaty smoky Isla whiskey,
home plate there.
like I said, I think her tastes are definitely evolving, and I think that's a great thing to watch and play some part in that.
awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
I see.
Okay,
What?
all right.
we're
So
good.
yeah, so it is. We said it's Cigar and Whiskey Month here on the Whiskey Roundtable, and to kind of kick that off, this week's Whiskey Wizard is kind of a primer on cigars.
Let's do a quick scroll and then we'll get into the whiskey wizard.
Yeah.
Is that
Quick
okay?
scroll. Okay, we already talked about Big G and a Mankini.
Amen.
Oh, yes.
Jennifer Boggs says nut skins are a thing.
Easy, Jen.
RJ wants to know, is that Palo Grego water you're drinking, or are you just happy to see me?
I'm just happy to see you.
Pat Patterson is out there. He says, hola, amigos.
Patty!
What's up, Pat?
Patty, did you golf today?
And
Oh, he
peed?
was drinking, I guess.
You golfed in, then peed. Good.
All right, glad that Patty's with us. Yeah, and Pat, you would like this, definitely like this whiskey. It's right up your alley. A nice, soft, but stayed at Isla. So.
And Pat's saying I should try the Lagavulin 16. See if I like that one.
That's a good one,
Yeah,
too.
well, we got to work that one up. That one's kind of when you talk about that spectrum.
Yeah.
That's the test. Like if you go, if you have a Lagavulin 16 and you go, oh, I really like this. Okay, you can't go anymore on the peaty smoky scale of that.
What's the one that you had that 18? Lafroig?
Lafroig.
How would it
Yeah,
compare
it's
to the
fantastic.
Lafroig 18?
It's I would say it's maybe not as peaty, but definitely more smoky.
Definitely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I got to wait a little bit on that Ardbeg. Give me some time.
Yeah. That's one of Pat's go-to is the Lagavulin.
And he
probably
did-
his favorite. Like he has a, he's got his tattoos, and that probably would be the next one he would get. He's got his Heineken, and he's got his Sierra Nevada on the other arm, and so
Nice.
I think maybe Lagavulin one might show up there at some point.
Awesome.
He did golf today, by the way.
He did golf, yeah. So it's his typical Friday thing. So
Rich is watching the show.
Rich Bar Rich.
Bar Rich is watching the show. I was just bragging about that bar earlier. Well, the great job that you did. People are still complimenting on that bar. You did a great job, Rich, man.
what does Siri think about the bar?
That certainly doesn't suck.
It
Amen.
certainly doesn't
Doesn't
suck.
suck.
Good.
Keep it up, Siri. I'll slap you in your face. Go ahead.
All right, we got, let's see. Jennifer started a conversation with what's everyone drinking. She's got a Maker's Stave collection.
Ah,
But she sounds like she's already been a little busy because she had Basil Hayden 10-year and a little Knob Creek Quarter
Oh.
Oak. Rob, who was on our show a few weeks back, he's got a Glenroth Speyside single malt scotch.
nice.
Oh yes.
And he
Rob.
is pairing that with an Alec Bradley Black Market cigar and
That's right.
relaxing.
He'll be in, I think, on
Nice.
Monday. I got
Way to
cigars.
do it, Rob, in honor of Cigar
I got-
and Whiskey Month.
Rob, I got you a bunch of cigars. I don't know how many's a bunch, but I got you some cigars that you're going to enjoy.
Pat Patterson said he's going to get that Lagavulin across his chest.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. But you got to try this one if you haven't, Patty. This Kilchoman Saneg. It's a good one. It's really good. So
It is. It is very good.
Got time for the Whiskey Wizard?
We do have time for the Whiskey
All
Wizard.
right.
And since Rob is out there with his smoke, you can sit back and watch this.
Yeah, you're going to enjoy this, really. This is a great segment.
Very educational.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
see you guys in a little bit.
All right, we'll be right back, kids.
See ya.
Whiskey Wizard. It's the Whiskey Wizard.
Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Wizard, where we say that whiskey making takes scientific knowledge, an artisan's skill and dedication, and a bit of the wizard's alchemy of light, air, earth, and fire. Tonight we're talking whiskey and cigars. Well, mostly cigars. Most of you know that having a dram or two of whiskey with that favorite cigar is something that many enjoy. So much so that it would likely top the list of things most often enjoyed with a glass of whiskey. In days not so long gone by, the image of successful men often included them gathered with a glass of whiskey and a cigar in a smoke-filled room. And today, I suppose, not much has changed other than that there may be a few equally confident ladies included in that same room, but that's a topic for another evening. This episode is actually more of a primer for an upcoming two-part Wizard episode about cigars and whiskey pairings. In this issue, I want to provide some information and background on tobacco, cigars, and cigar making, which hopefully is a good lead-in to the big pairing episodes we are in the process of preparing for your enjoyment. Okay, a little history. Tobacco uses in the Americas predates the European arrival by 1,000 years. Native peoples in what is now northeastern United States and the Caribbean were already cultivating, using, and smoking tobacco when the Europeans arrived. Then tobacco became more and more popular as a European trade item. Spanish explorers were the first to bring tobacco seeds to the Old World in 1559. These seeds were planted in the outskirts of Toledo, that's not Ohio, kids, more specifically in an area of Spain known as Los Cigarrales. Tobacco became so popular that the English colony of Jamestown used it as currency and began exporting it as a cash crop. Tobacco is often credited as being the export that saved Virginia from insolvency. The tobacco plant is actually in the nightshade family, and it's related to the tomato and the potato. The roots produce the compound nicotine, which concentrates in the plant leaves, which can reach levels of 18% nicotine in some varieties. Nicotine acts as a stimulant and an anxiolytic, which means it promotes a feeling of reduced anxiety. Before we discuss the regional variants, we need to introduce the anatomy of the tobacco plant, as it's crucial in terms of understanding fine cigar construction. There are three main layers or levels of leaves on a tobacco plant. These levels are each harvested as separate layers from the bottom upwards in the following order. Volado is the lower set of leaves on the plant, seco is the heart or middle layer of leaves, and the ligero is the uppermost level of leaf growth that receives the most direct sunlight. Knowing these three parts of the plant and their leaf characteristics will improve your understanding of cigars and how they're made and blended. With a lower sun exposure than the other leaves, the lowest level, or volado, consists of thin leaves having very little flavor but great burning characteristics. The mid-level seco leaves are somewhat coarser and offer a mild, rich flavor. Additionally, the seco is a comparatively large section, and some growers may consider a series of subsections or primings, depending on the seed. Seco leaf is well balanced with a moderately oily leaf, mild flavor, and considerable aromatic qualities. As a general rule, the seco can be considered a compromise between the thin volado below and the thick ligero above. Last, of course, is the ligero. These are the leaves found at the top section of a tobacco plant. The ligero leaves are exposed to the most sun and are thick, oily, and heavy, and extremely potent in flavor and other compounds. In order to further its potency, it is often left to over-ripen, being the last leaves to be cultivated, with the previous layers having been already harvested. The nutrients concentrate further to provide the most full-bodied flavor possible. Still, depending on the seed, the ligero itself can consist of several sublayers. All three main layers are used as part of the core cigar filler, with the seco making up about 50%, the volado about 10%, and the ligero about 40%, usually in the very center of the cigar. The wrapper, or outside of the cigar, usually uses the best quality seco leaves, chosen for their cosmetic appearance and lack of blemishes. A less cosmetic mix of seco and volado leaves form the middle binder layer that strengthen and hold the filler while supporting the wrapper. Some claim that the wrapper plays a noted role in cigar flavor, while other experts claim that its contribution is mainly cosmetic. At any rate, a great cigar requires all three leaf types, the volado, the seco, and the ligero. All right, a little bit about tobacco varietals. We can't cover them all, but there are some common ones that are important to the world of fine cigars. Piloto tobacco. Much of the tobacco used in today's premium cigars is piloto. Piloto, or Piloto Cubano, is named for a town in Cuba in its prime tobacco growing region. Piloto is robust in flavor and full-bodied, usually carrying some spice. In Cuba, when the crop is right, the leaves are supple and strong. Olor tobacco. The other main type of tobacco grown in the Dominican Republic is olor. Olor is pretty much indigenous to the Dominican. Its leaves are thinner and less resilient than the pilotos, but olor is much sought after for its aromatic complexity and burning qualities. Okay, next, Corojo tobacco. Some popular releases use the Corojo leaf that originated in Cuba, but today it's grown in Honduras and western Kentucky. Cubans used the leaf for wrappers that carried a significant level of spice, but the susceptibility of the Corojo leaf to disease led the Cubans to abandon it. Honduras grows pure Corojo today, but hybrids are grown in many other regions. Other well-known Corojo varietals are found in the iconic Cuban legacy blends for Punch Rare Corojo and Punch Signature, as well as the feisty full-bodied profile of Camacho Corojo. The criollo tobacco is a type of tobacco that is thought to have been present in Cuba around the time Columbus landed there. The word means native seed. In Cuba, criollo was used mostly as filler. You'll find criollo in many countries, and none of them really have anything to do with the original Cuban criollo. Habano and Habano 2000 are tobacco types born in Cuba. Habano is mainly wrapper leaf that is dark, spicy, and rich in aroma. It's been grown in Nicaragua since the 1990s. Habano 2000 is a cross between Corojo and a milder Cuban tobacco that is more resistant to disease. Among the better examples of Habano are the Avo Heritage and the Ashton Heritage Puro Sol, both of which use the Ecuador Habano wrappers. There's a distinct chocolate note to it. Okay, broadleaf tobacco. Broadleaf is a sort of short tobacco plant that was often used as filler or binder, but has become more popular as a wrapper source as darker cigars have gained a following. Some of the best is grown in Connecticut. It's also quite expensive because it's hard to grow and handle. The flavor of broadleaf, however, makes it worthwhile and now gained quite a lot of respect as a wrapper leaf. I've noted that Big G prefers many cigars with a Connecticut wrapper. Broadleaf's cousin, growing side by side in the Connecticut River Valley, is shade. While this refers primarily to growing tobacco under shading, the stuff in Connecticut is tall and elegant in flavor. Connecticut shade is essentially a hybrid of Asian Sumatra and Cuban leaf. Blocking the sun using shading material creates a thinner, more elastic leaf. The flavor is generally mild. Ashton Classic and Ashton Cabinet are prominent examples. There are more, but last for this discussion is Sumatra, which is a black tobacco leaf that was originally found in Indonesia, but the most popular version is Ecuador Sumatra. Used primarily as a wrapper leaf, it has a lovely color, rich oil, and spice. One of the most celebrated Sumatra blends available is Ashton VSG for virgin sun-grown. Once the tobacco leaves are harvested, they are cured. There are a variety of ways to dry and cure it, each with an impact upon its flavor and its burning qualities. In many cases, the final step of curing involves fermentation to bring about more sugars and sweetness. Sound familiar? Finally, a quick bit about cigar sizes and configurations. When you picture a cigar, what you are thinking of is likely a parejo variation. This term parejo is simply used to describe normally shaped cigars, or those that are cylindrical, require a cut on one end, and are straight. So let's take a look at some common parejo cigar sizes and styles. Petite Corona. As its name suggests, the Petite Corona is more or less a small version of the Corona. The little cigars often have a large taste. They are ideal for individuals new to cigars and those who don't want to spend a tremendous amount of time smoking their first stogie. Technically speaking, Petite Coronas are usually 4 to 5 inches in length, which are with a ring gauge of around 40. 40 means 40 times 1/36 of an inch, which is close to a millimeter, I think. Corona. Corona is essentially the Goldilocks cigar size. It isn't too big, nor is it too small for most smokers. This is probably the size most folks new to cigars are thinking of or expecting. Technically, Corona cigars are 5 to 6 inches long with ring gauges of 40 to 42, and most smokes fall into this 40 category. Coronas are advantageous because they allow smokers to experience all the complexities and flavors of a premium cigar tobacco build and style. Robusto. Robusto cigars typically provide robust flavor profiles, hence their name. The short, wide-gauge cigars have become more popular than ever in recent years. Robustos are generally 4 to 5 inches long, and they usually have ring gauges of 48 to 52. However, cigar makers can adjust their cigar sizes based upon their own preferences and specifications. Toro, also referred to as Corona Gorda, cigars are long, thick, and sure to leave a lasting impression not only on you, the smoker, but on most individuals you encounter while smoking. These sticks normally have ring gauges of 46 to 50, as well as a length of 6 or so inches. These are usually satisfying cigars that, when of quality build, taste even better than they look. Next is Churchill, named after stogie lover Winston Churchill, of course. This cigar is very similar to the Toro. Both feature ring gauges right around 50 and typically are of considerable length. Churchills are more consistently right around 7 inches in length. Deviating from this typically results in a cigar receiving the Toro classification. Presidente. Presidente cigars are massive, both in length and ring gauge. Although the Presidente is used more rarely, serious smokers must experience a Presidente at some point. At 7 to 9 inches with their 50 to 60 ring gauge, they are normally crafted with mild tobacco to ensure that smokers aren't overwhelmed during the multi-hour burn. Figurado is the term used to describe a cigar that isn't traditional in the cylindrical shape. And a few are the pyramid. The pyramid cigar style does in fact look like an actual pyramid. Additionally, the traditional pyramid cigars fall somewhere into a range of 6 to 7 inches in length, with a corresponding ring gauge of around 50 at the thick end, which is where it is lit. Torpedo. Torpedo cigars have essentially the same dimensions as pyramid cigars, but are shaped like classical torpedoes that join together at a lower point than pyramid cigars. Perfecto. Far and away the most unique of the Figurado cigar styles, the Perfecto is thin on either end but grows progressively thicker near the middle. Perfecto cigars don't feature ends like the pyramid or the torpedo, but are rather rounded on both sides. The Perfecto's lighting end is always ready to ignite out of the box, but the smoking end may be pre-cut or require a cut. More so than any of the other described smokes, Perfecto's general measurements are all over the map. Very, very broadly speaking, these cigars are 4 to 10 inches long and feature ring gauges in the proximity of 40 or 50, so quite a range. Okay, as it is with whiskey, one cannot discuss all things cigar in one Wizard episode. But hopefully this serves as a good enough primer for our upcoming 2-part episode on pairing fine cigars with whiskeys. This is Douglas Dunbar, the Whiskey Wizard, for the Whiskey Roundtable. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Cheers, Slanjava. And now, back to the live show.
Let's clap. All right.
Right.
That is a great segment.
Hey, Whiskey Wizard, I'm real proud of you.
Thanks, Siri. Okay.
That's a lying bitch right there. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so we've kicked it off with kind of a primer about cigars, and then, as we as we progress through the month of June, we're doing a lot with pairing whiskeys with different whiskeys, Scotch,
Sure.
rye,
Sure.
bourbon, with appropriate pairings with cigars. So that'll be kind of the topic. And I think we had a lot of fun doing those.
We did.
episodes.
We
so
really did.
I think the audience is going to enjoy those. So.
Perfect.
But,
It was.
We'll
It was-
talk
it
more
was a good
about
time.
that in the future. But we got some news. I just want to kick it off here. This just came out last week. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson pledged to end Great Britain's import tariff on bourbon and other American whiskeys. So big news there. So they're rescinding a Section 232 tariffs imposed on American exports. So that's good news.
Yes, it is good news. Awesome.
All right. So, what do you got?
I do. I have something from one of my favorite distillers, Old Forester, releasing single barrel rye. Jackie's ICANN on what we need to know. So, Kentucky bourbon brand Old Forester is releasing a new limited release of Old Forester single barrel rye. This is the first new product from their rye recipe since its debut in 2019, and the second product made with the Old Forester rye recipe in history.
Ah, yeah.
So, single barrel rye will be bottled limited quantities, surprise, surprise, annually at barrel strength, mostly unfiltered, and will be available nationwide.
Fantastic.
We spoke with Old Forester master taster Jackie Zycan to learn more about the product. Zycan, who is in charge of the single barrel bourbon program, says single barrel rye has been handled differently. There will be no private selection in this program. Single barrel bourbon is only available as a private selection. Instead, Zycan has chosen a group of barrels with some limited consistency among them for the rollout. So she says 75 barrels in this project were all selected with targeted Old Forester rye flavor profile in mind. Just ramped up and in full force, the profile includes floral notes and many fruit-forward notes, and it's just not allspice, explains Zycan. Like the 100 proof rye, the whiskey in these the whiskey in these lots has aged at least 5.5 years in heat-cycled warehouse.
Heat cycle.
Heat-cycled.
Wow. That.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they have. I wonder if that's in their new.
She's playing up there.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like you
Yeah,
have visitors upstairs, but it's just
Surprise,
the dog. Wow, that's fantastic. And they are pretty kind of. They don't release a lot of new things. They're
No,
very
they really don't,
careful
yeah.
about their product line and when they put something out there. So that's exciting. And
It is.
I like that it's. I like that it's a national release. So that might be something we can get and do here on the Whiskey Roundtable.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
So it's going to be 127 proof.
Wow.
It's going to be right around $80. Supposedly able to get it throughout the United States. For 2021, okay, well, I just said $80. Let me run down to the different things here. So color, rich terracotta, aroma, dessert.
And successful.
We're back. Bag day. So I think if I don't have some, I may have to pick some up in celebration. Bag Scorch is priced at $120 a bottle, and somewhere around $120. So release is just this June 2021. So limited edition, but it should be available probably online if you know where to obtain those kinds of things. I know a lot of our audience does. So it's matured in heavily charred barrel ex-bourbon barrels meant to create a scorching effect in a nod to the legendary dragon said to have once lived on Isla, according to the island's folktales. And let's see. Talisker is releasing its oldest whiskey to date and telling the story of a voyage at sea in the process. So I don't know if this is more sea aging. I think I read somewhere that the staves and some of the barrels were aged at sea, but I don't know for sure. But this 1,830 bottles available, and it's just $4,000 a bottle. So
We should get
moving on. Let's see. Sweeten's Cove from Tennessee is back with a new release for 2021. Like last year's inaugural release, it will cost about $200 with 4,200 bottles entering in just a few states. Will Ohio be one of those, likely?
I would hope.
I don't know, but I'll bet G can get a bottle. And Style Straight Bourbon, and it's 56.85% ABV, about $200 a bottle. So
That's not terrible.
yeah, so we got some more, but we'll save that for next week.
Sounds good.
Because we'll have a lot more to talk about, and that's it. So to wrap things up, thanks to everybody for watching. If you can't watch us live, be sure that you do tune in to each show. It's the views that help keep this thing going. So we'll be back next week at our usual time. That's the 11th, I think.
I believe.
7:30 p.m. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow
Like
us
us.
on Facebook.
Like
Yes.
us.
Comment, like us. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to be a guest, you can comment on Facebook. Of course, you can email us directly at thewhiskeyroundtable@gmail.com. So our closing quote for today comes, we did this once before, but I think it's too perfect as we kick off Cigar and Whiskey Month. This one comes from none other than Mark Twain, who said, "If I cannot drink bourbon and smoke cigars in heaven, then I shall not go."
Amen.
Perfect.
All right, we got any scroll, or are we done with the scroll?
Just one. Justin Elliott is on,
Justin!
and he says, "Thanks for the gift, my
You are
friend."
welcome, brother. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's something simple, but I figured you were the person for it.
Like bourbon or scotch, oh no. Oh no, no. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably wasting lots of money trying therapy. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. Whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped working, whiskey stopped working, if whiskey stopped. what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't be over you. Whiskey stopped working if whiskey stopped working. Whiskey stopped working if whiskey stopped working. Whiskey stopped working if whiskey stopped. If whiskey stopped working, where the hell would I be? Probably halfway out of this town, leaving Tennessee. If whiskey stopped working, what the hell would I do? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I'd never get over you.